These ain't glorified gang of prison stories, man. These is lived experiences. Welcome back to the Swang Low Podcast Show. Dude Rock Creep. It's an absolute pleasure to be back here at this roundtable amongst my roundtable family. Salute to all of y'all for joining me. Now, look, before I jump into this video, I got to ask, if you haven't already did it, please take this opportunity now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Swang Low Podcast Show. Dude Rock Creep. It would definitely help us get further into the algorithm. You know what I mean? And we would definitely love to have y'all part of the family, man. So again, take that opportunity to do so if you haven't already did it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Swing Low Podcast Show, Do Rock Creep. Salute to all of y'all that have already done it, man. Welcome to the family, man. We embrace you all wholeheartedly. Now, look, man, we're gonna spin out to LA. We're gonna go out to 83rd Street, the Hoovers. You feel me? Now, I have many people that's from this section that I got a lot of love and respect for, as I've, probably mentioned this particular gang, in different stories that I've told, Now, with this particular person that I'm about to talk about, me and him, um, I'm gonna say we started in the Los Angeles County Jail, the Los Angeles County Jail Crip module, right? This was 1995, and you had a number of us that was in there. We was young at this time, man. Remember, I was 22 years old, right? And it was a lot of people that was my age, probably a few that was a little bit younger, but definitely within that age bracket, all like 19, 20, 21, 22, and so on, it wasn't too many really older dudes in there at that time like that, it was a couple from, different hoods that was in there. However, you know, my boy Spoon, baby Spoon from A Trey Hoover, right? He was in the cell next door to the cell that we was in. We was in cell 8, he was in cell 9. He was in the cell with I just told y'all the story about the homie G Lottie from Insane, right? He was in the cell with G Lottie, right? And his homeboy Baby Sleep from A Trey Hoover was in there with him. Uh then of course you had G Lottie, then you had Tomboy. I think Lil Seaway was in there too then, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, and then you had a couple of do-rocks that was in there too, Bubs, and rest in peace to the homie Big Bubs. You had Bubs, I think Will Bone had went in there. Evil Bone definitely had went in there. It was a few homies that was mixed in with the Hoovers and the Insanes. So anyway, but Baby Spoon from Hoover was in this cell, right? Now, I described to y'all like how when we used to be in there rapping and all that, right? You had everybody from different hoods that knew how to rap. You had them that would get on the tier with it. And what I mean by get on the tier with it, they have somebody in the cell doing the beat for them, and y'all gotta try to picture this, try to imagine this, right? The sound you hearing, this thumping, that those was utilizing a toothbrush and a deodorant bottle, right? They're using a toothbrush and a deodorant bottle in their fist, right, to beat on the metal bunks. And they're doing this making beats, right? I swear, and the way that the sound, the way it bounced off the walls inside those little cells and would carry outside that cell and just rivet all the way down the tier. It was like you was sitting in the park and somebody had their sound system in their car or truck or something just turned up and it's just beating, right? Those really have skills like that. Now, the number one person that was in there that had the beat thing down to perfection was the homie Baby Spoon from A Trey Hoover. Baby Spoon from A Trey Hoover was like Dr. Dre in there with the beats. And just so happened, he was right next door to us. So when we rapped, our beat man, he became our beat man. Of course they had they raps that they put out there, the Hoovers, and the Long Beaches, you know, they had one of the hardest ones, which was Bro from West Coast at that time when he was in there, right? He was hard. And anyway, Baby Spoon was the beat man. So we got official beats going like crazy. And that's where me and him like developed a real strong friendship back at that time, of him doing beats and rapping and me rapping, and then on top of that, I can't forget Baby L Dog from Nine Nine Mafia was in there too. Baby L Dog was in the cell with us, right? So, and he was real tight with Baby Spoon. So being that I was tight with Baby L Dog, I became tight with Baby Spoon as well, you know, just from being a real nigga. And then on top of that, his passion for music and all that, and as well as mine. Plus, he was real inquisitive. Like the things that he didn't know, he always asked. He didn't have a problem with asking. And that's what I always found fascinating about Baby Spoon, right? Smart dude. He's very, very smart, right? Always ask questions, funny, had jokes. So then, like from us being cool in there, right? And then the women that we had at that time back then had all became cool. I told y'all they all had started hanging together. The young lady that I was with at that time, and Baby Spoon's wife at that time. I'm not gonna name her, but that was a homegirl. Um, you had her, and then you had Tador from Showline's girl, Pooh, who they're still together to this day. Shout out to them. Then you had Blink from 1180 East Coast, him and his wife, and then all our girls hung together. They once they left the LA County Jail from seeing us, they would go off and do them. They all hung together. They all became tight, right? That's facts. So, you know, I remember um from being in the Los Angeles County Jail Crip module, and then them closing it down because of the police getting stabbed up and all that. It became wild and uncontrollable to them. We got aggressive with them. They tried to get aggressive back. We got even more up the ante. So they felt like they had no control of the Crip module no more. That's when they opened up Linwood, right? That's when they opened up Linwood. Linwood right across the street from the projects, right? So when they closed down the Los Angeles County Jail Crip module, they opened up that. So they shift half of the Crip module, half of us to Linwood. Well, I'm gonna say they sent like probably a good 85% of people to the Crip module, and then the rest of us went to High Power Wayside, like this DPE shit, right? And I told y'all about when once we got there, me running into the homie Fontaine from Altadena Block. I told y'all about that. I just did a story about that. Go back and check that out. It's a good story. So anyway, man, I ended up going to that. Baby Spoon ended up going to Linwood. Then some stuff transpired. I told y'all about this part, man. There's some good stories, in the catalog. I'm telling y'all about all this. I suggest y'all go binge watch because it's some good stuff. It's worthy of y'all, being able to see what this all leads up to and who it leads up to, which is to this moment. But anyway, so bam, a situation occurred, bam, where I get kicked out of the high power wayside and sit back to the Crip module to Linwood. But no way they was gonna let me be on the main line, right? So bam, They send me back to the Crip module to Linwood. Once I get over there, now they have more, they wasn't letting dudes from the same hood go in the cell with each other. They was trying to mix everybody up. You know what I mean? And I remember that like being a big thing. So when I got over there, I ended up in the cell with I ended up in the cell first with Barney from Five Deuce Hoover, right? Then Baby Spoon. I can't remember who Baby Spoon was in the cell with, but we ended up Barney ended up swapping out with Baby Spoon. Baby Spoon came in the cell with me, right? So me and him in there thugging it, right? Remember, this is my beat man, this is bro, and then on top of that, our girls hang together on the street, so we always had stuff to talk about. We used to be in there just thugging it, right? And then do music. So anyway, man, we become cellies. Then we ended up going to the hole, getting into it with the police. Now inside the Linwood cells, the new Crip module, they had these speakers inside the cell. Now we would have to push a button to be able to say anything to the police because the speaker is connected to a tower where the sheriff be at, right? So if you need anything while you locked inside your cell, you just push that button and ask them or whatever. But they always keep the speaker on so they can hear your conversation even when you're not pushing that button, right? So I remember us getting into a dispute with the sheriff about something, and then um um after the dispute, me and Baby Spoon continued the conversation amongst ourselves, right? This is after now with this dispute with us and the sheriff. We're talking on the. I'm actually pushing the button, and we going back and forth with him, right? So bam, once I stop pushing the button and me and him start, I'm not knowing that they still can hear us talking, right? So we in there going in on this person, right? It was a dude, and we was referring to him basically as a female dog, and you know, every bad thing that you could think of to say disrespectful to a dude, we said it to we was saying it amongst ourselves about him, not knowing he's hearing all this, right? Including like we knock his bitch ass out and whoa, 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 wham, right? Right? And that's what got us right there, bam. So he pressed the line and got us sent to the hole for threatening to knock him out, right? And break his jaw. And he said we called him a bunch of derogatory things, right? About his sexuality and all kind of stuff, right? And which was true. We not knowing this fool is listening to us, that they can still hear us, although we not pushing the button physically, right? We not knowing this. This is a whole new jail. So bam. Now we go to the hole and we sell these in the hole, which it seemed like we were still on the main line because I'm still with Baby Spoon, right? We still sell these. So bam. I remember them giving us a phone call back then. Like when you go to the hole, they give you one phone call to let your people know that you in the hole, right? And then after that, you shut down for however long you got to be in there. So you get one try, one phone call, right? And you got to make it work. So I remember um um trying to get that phone call, man, and couldn't get through, right? So bam, now Baby Spoon, you got to make this happen. You got to tell your wife whoopty whoopty wham, right? So bam, I remember like he like, all right, I got you, right? And then them BSing on letting him out for the phone, right? And us getting into it with him in there, the sheriff getting into it with him in there. So anyway, finally he was able to get the phone call and help me get the message out, through his wife to the young lady that I was with at that time, right? So bam, we sellies up until I'm fighting my case and all that, still fight my case, and actually was in trial. I had ended up losing my case. Bam, got sentenced. In the midst of me getting sentenced and all that, I ended up going to the hole for attempted unaliving. Right, this is in the Los Angeles County Jail. So anyway, while in the hole, it's the end of my trial. I had lost. Now I'm waiting to get sentenced and all this and that. Going through all this from the hole, dealing with this jailhouse stuff. Bam. So once I go through that, I end up going to the reception. So go to state prison reception. And that was Delano. Get to Delano, I'm there for like probably like a month. Guess who come walking through the door? Baby Spoon. Bam. So I can't remember who he had went in the cell with at that time, but he ended up coming in the cell with me, right? So we're cellies in Delano reception, right? Same program, like the same thing that it was our friendship was consistent. Like that was really like bro right there. That was a brotherhood that we built and bonded for a number of different reasons. The level of respect was always there, top tier, both ways. You feel me? And it's just always been like that, man. And why this dude was impactful to me, because even going through them times, I remember not just there, bam, we hit Delano reception, we sellies there. Bam, I ended up transferring out, going to Salinas Valley at that time. He went to Calipatria. I go up to Salinas Valley for however long. Bam. Then I end up in Calipatria. As soon as I get to Calipatria, me and Baby Spoon Selly's there. And during that time, we was on complete lockdown because right before I got there, uh, it was a big, big riot with the blacks and the Southern Hispanics. Right, Baby Spoon was part of that riot. And I remember him, when we became cellies, him telling me about how everything started, how everything jumped off, right? And him being hyped up because um during that ride he utilized a tactic that I had basically taught him while we were cellies. And I remember how hyped up he was. He was like, "Yeah, man," and when it all popped off, I remember you told me to do whoopty whoopty wham. I did it, and it worked. I couldn't believe it, man. And I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." You feel me? Now, like I've told y'all, y'all in prison, you have different people that specialize in different things that would teach you different things if they feel that you are worthy of being taught, this stuff. If you was willing to sit down and listen, and put in the time and the effort, to learn whatever it is that you want to be put up on, then those would definitely, have the patience to teach you. You feel me? And what was handed down to me, I hand down to the people that I felt was worthy of, you know, this stuff. So he was definitely one of them. Like I told y'all, very, very smart and inquisitive about the things. If he didn't know about it, trust me, he's gonna inquire about it. He's gonna ask, and we're gonna speak about it in depth. You feel me? I've spent enough time with Baby Spoon to know that how smart and intelligent bro was. And without him even knowing it, like shit, he was helping me strengthen my game, wanting to know more. Like I told y'all, it was a number of people that was trying to teach me Swahili. He was one of them. He had like a number of words, right, in Swahili that was wrote down. And I remember like he used to study them every night, and he would talk to certain people in Swahili over the tears. So I'm like, yeah, man, I want to learn that. So he had the words, but of course, like I told you, at this time, we young, me and him, all we war stories all day. You got to remember, we was on complete lockdown. When you're on lockdown for them riots, because when riots like that happen, you could be on lockdown for over a year. And when you're on lockdown like that, sometimes they not finna give you no, you don't get access to go to the canteen. You don't get access to packages or none of that stuff. So you're just completely dependent on what the state give you. That's the way they want you, weak and broke down, so you can stop. That's a tactic that they use to try to stop the riots, the wars from going. Keep them weak, keep them broken mentally. Don't give them nothing. Eventually, they're gonna get tired of it and break. You feel me? That's Think about it and imagine being constricted like that for over a year, where the only thing that you got going is to the shower, which you're handcuffed. They handcuff you going, they handcuff you coming back and forth to the shower. There's no yard, there's no nothing. That's all you got coming, and that's every 72 hours. Other than that, you in the cell taking bird baths. These were the conditions that me and Baby Spoon was up under during this time in Calipatria. Calipatria was vicious, 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 man. I don't remember being in no spot that was just a catwalk. I don't. And I'm not glorifying jail. I'm not glorifying any of that. I'm giving y'all a narrative description of how dark and deep prison was, really was at this time. At this time, people was getting knocked off left and right in Calipatria. When I say knocked off, I'm talking about losing their life left and right. I seen so many people die in that one prison, get unalived in that one prison than anywhere. It was extremely violent. So when I tell y'all you have to become that environment, I mean that. Either you become that environment or you become a victim of it. That's the way it was. And this is, the conditions that me and bro was up under as young dudes. Coming about that Los Angeles County Jail Crip module. You feel me? And we, was warriors. So of course, if I had something to give to bro, that would enhance him, I gave it to him. And if he has something to give to me to enhance me, he gave it to me. Just like with the Swahili and stuff. It really started with him. But like I said, we were so young and caught up in the game banging and just that environment was us, and it wasn't an act. You feel me? And I've heard as of late that he's out. Salute to him, man. Just sending love and respect to bro. I heard he's doing good too, man. And just thinking back on those days, man, I can only imagine the man that he's become today from back then. You know, that was definitely a person that impacted me, man. That I felt helped me become, a better version of myself just through our times, going through those things that we went through, cellies and all these different spots. You feel me? You can't pay for that type of love and respect. Period. You feel me? But yeah, man, shout out to my boy Baby Spoon, man, over in the A Trey Hoovers. You know, it's always love for bro. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. But yeah, I just wanted to spin the block out, you know, to LA, you know, show some love to my bro, Baby Spoon, A Trey Hoover, you know. Hopefully, bro's still out there doing his thing. You know, many blessings to him and his family as well. You know, on that note, I'm gonna let y'all get back to doing y'all, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all always showing up each and every time I ask you to do so, man. And again, shout out to all the new subscribers that came to join the family. Hey, man, without y'all, none of this would be, none of it would be walking. You feel me? So I appreciate everybody, man, that's been showing love and you know becoming part of the family. You feel me? And hey, I also want to say this too before I go. Shout out to my bro 16 to life, bro. Hey, we got to get one in, bro. You know, I'm gonna make every effort that I can to make that happen soon. You know, I'll be hitting you on IG and just letting you know, when everything is good, you know. But I look forward to doing that. You know, it's you know we been was supposed to get that done. You know what I'm saying? But if I do anything with anybody, it's definitely gonna be you first. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my bro 16 to life. You know, all love and respect that way. You know, salute to him. But yeah, man, I'm finna get up out of here. Love and appreciate you all. Y'all take care. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay vigilant. Let the people that's in your life know that you love and appreciate them because tomorrow is promised to none of us. You feel me? On that note, I'm finna let y'all go, man. I love all y'all. Y'all take care. Triple gang.